We have music playing.
Oh.
We can't hear it, but they can hear it on the
Okay,
radio.
well, you can pretend.
Dun, dun. It always feels like the countdown of Jeopardy. Oh, here we go. All right. Hold on, Facebook world. We're almost there. Good morning, everybody. This is Nicole Mangina with Windermere Real Estate, and you are listening to the 425 Show, your place to be for all things real estate and lifestyle related here on the East Side. We've got an amazing guest with us this morning, Susan Palmer-Wood. Thank you. Hi, how are
it's
you?
So good to be here.
I know. It's great to see you and catch up. And gosh, we met, I think, a couple years ago in a marketing course that we took together.
Yeah, a long time
So
ago.
I know,
Yeah.
and it's been so fun to see everything evolve. And
Yeah.
so thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, on this beautiful, sunny it's the 3rd of July, the 4th is tomorrow. And I think everybody is taking off today, I don't think, because the traffic, I got here in lots of time.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
I love days like that. And it's sunny today, which maybe that bodes well for tomorrow and actually having a nice weather 4th of July.
I know, we're not used to having nice weather until the 5th, so when I woke up this morning and the sun was out, it was a good sign.
I know.
Yeah.
All is right with the world when
Yes.
the sun's out.
Yes,
So
I
Susan,
agree.
tell us about what you do.
Well, I'm an empowerment coach,
Okay,
and
love it.
I do these mind-blowing transformational breakthrough processes where, in a matter of hours, it allows you to let go of unresolved negative emotions and limiting beliefs
Okay.
that are really preventing you from stepping into the most empowered you could be. It's like,
I love
you know,
it.
have you ever felt like you have the foot on your brake, on the brake,
Yes.
like, okay, I'm going to do this. No, I'm not. And it's kind of some self-sabotage
Uh-huh.
and some stories that are playing in your head, like, who am I, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough. And so we just blow that out
Love it.
in hours. And then through Focus One-on-One coaching,
Uh-huh.
then really you develop the goals and the visions and the strategies to stay focused so that you can be, do, and have what makes your soul sing.
Well, that sounds pretty amazing.
It
Who
is
doesn't
so
want
amazing.
that?
I know. And I love supporting people like that.
That's awesome. How did you get into this?
Well, it's a funny story. So I spent a couple decades in the corporate arena.
Okay.
And then I went and I got my certificate for integrative nutrition.
Got it.
And that was back in 2011. And then I couldn't do both. I couldn't raise kids, teenagers, and do coaching and rock the corporate world. And
Yeah,
so I
that's a
gave up
lot.
coaching.
Yeah.
And slowly my health started deteriorating.
Oh,
and so I
interesting.
completely burned out of corporate.
Got it.
I took some time off. Then I went right back into work. And then I started to burn out again. My son went to college. I exhaled and I said, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to do next, but it's not this.
Right.
So I went to Bali for a couple of weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, and that
All
was
right,
really
nice.
fun. And I did some healing because I was still trying to recover my health.
Uh-huh.
And what was really interesting is one of the people that I saw, I was having some digestive problems because
Okay.
adrenal fatigue and burnout really can
Yes.
destroy your gut
Mhm.
and your digestive system. And they said, there's nothing wrong with you. And
Okay.
I thought, who are you? Let me tell you about the suitcase of supplements that I have and all the problems I was very attached to. The problem.
Like, have you met me?
Like, hello. And, I used to joke because here I am, a health coach. I'm the sickest person that I know, which didn't make any sense.
Right.
And so when I came back, that stuck in my head, and I was cleaning off my bookshelf, trying to figure out what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And this old workbook fell on the floor, and I opened it up, and it said, sign up for NLP, January 2009.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I just signed up to take this workshop because I love NLP.
Okay.
And I knew I loved NLP. We talked about
Right.
Tony Robbins.
Yes. And so NLP stands for what?
Neuro-linguistic programming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And that's
it's-
Tony Robbins uses that a
Tony
lot
Ro-
in
yes,
his programs, right?
yeah.
Okay. I know I've heard of it through Tony Robbins.
Yeah,
So that's good.
it's
a big
really
deal.
it's based on what successful people do, the strategies of what successful people
Got
do.
it.
And
Okay.
it's the successful communication with yourself and other people.
Okay.
Because we're constantly talking to ourselves, we constantly have pictures of what things mean in our heads, and when we
Yes.
shift it, our whole world changes. So I took the certification program, fell in love, was on the edge of my seat the entire time, said, this is it, this is what I have to do. Then I took master practitioner training.
Okay.
And the rest is history. I fell in love with it. I love what I do every day. It gives me so much meaning and purpose to, in this process, I healed myself.
Wow. That's
And I
amazing.
let go of decades of unworthiness and shame and guilt and all of this BS because we have so much conditioning and fear. So
Yeah,
I
and
let
it's
that
interesting. We
go.
don't realize how much that affects our daily lives and our
Right.
decisions and how we react to things.
It's, yeah.
And that there is another way to react to something or another way to see something, but we're so stuck in whatever our story is. Right?
Yes.
So it's just we can't wrap our head around it.
Yeah. Like, I'm a single mom. I have, all of these health issues. I work at Microsoft. We get so attached to our stories.
Yes.
And then we make meaning out of that. And so, so now I love helping people release all of that. And it's kind of like we're looking through life, through our baggage, through our stories.
Yes.
And once that lets go, it's like opening up a dirty window and just seeing life in a whole new way. It's this indescribable freedom that
Right.
people have. So that's what I do and how I got there.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Happy all day long, making people feel better about themselves.
Yeah, it's good. And I'm still human. I still have my own crap that comes up. The cool thing is I don't stay stuck there like I used to.
Yeah, you notice it and then you do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating. So I've got that with a friend of mine right now. There's something that's really bothering them, and I keep trying to throw in, well, maybe if you looked at it this way. And they're not. Yeah, they're not there yet, but that's okay.
Well, and it's interesting because have you ever been told, like, when you're stressed out or upset and people are like, calm down or don't stress or
No,
breathe, and
just
you're
kinda
like,
punch them.
yeah, so it's people have to be. That's the other lesson that I learned, and with coaching is, it's not a prescribed thing, and so it's kind of like showing up today. Whatever you want to talk about, let's talk about. So when I show up for coaching, I'm holding space, and it's what's going on with you, and let's keep you focused to go after that vision for your life that you really want.
Yeah.
But people have to be ready. They have to
Totally.
be willing to let it go. They have to be willing to see it differently. And, and that's a big lesson that I had to learn. I can't want it more than
Yeah,
someone
absolutely.
else.
Huge.
Right.
Yes, I run into that a lot. I work with a lot of agents, and you can't want success for somebody else more than they want it for themselves.
Yeah, even though you want to shake them sometimes.
I know, because it's funny, because what they say and what they do don't match. I really want all the success. I saw you playing Fortnite at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
that's what my kids are doing right now. Not at 2 a.m., but anyway.
Yeah, I know. I just saw the thing that my son had the updated Fortnite. I'm like, okay, I know what he's doing. I wasn't.
Yeah.
So
Well, there's a time and a place for that, too.
exactly. Downtime is good.
It is. That is awesome. Well, we were talking about it before the show started. Sometimes it's the littlest things, too. I recently had read that everything happens for you, nothing happens to you.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes as well, it's, because we hear the same thing over and over again, but there's that one day when it actually gets in, right?
Yeah.
You go, oh, now I get it, or you're ready to hear it or ready to do something about it. And the other day when I heard it, it was like that light bulb moment. Probably was not the first time I heard it, but I thought, oh, everything happens for me. So that's been my little mantra right now, especially the real estate market's busy. The kids just got out of school. I will be the first to admit I have a ton of mommy guilt about, I feel like, I'm supposed to be giving them this epic summer vacation every single day.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm a failure because I have to go to work. And then I realize I buy really nice stuff when I go to work. And my mom, who actually was a stay-at-home mom, just sent me out the door.
Right.
It's not like she was out providing me epic, and I had a great summer and it was awesome, but I wasn't reliant on my mom to provide that for me. So it's okay that the boys have to figure it out. And it's okay to be bored out of your mind by the time August rolls around and be ready to go back to school.
Yeah, that's so funny. So a couple of things that you said, my son went through the same thing. He really wanted this thing. He decided, and I'm like, how are you going to do that? And sure enough, he figured it out.
Yeah.
So when I step out of the way and don't provide for him and figure it out and solve it, he's so resourceful.
Yeah.
And so I just have to remember to not problem solve, like, kids need to figure it out. And I had the same mom guilt when I was working all the time, and yet it allowed me to provide for them the life that I wanted them to have. So I totally get that.
Absolutely. In fact, it's funny sometimes when you let them figure it out. Our youngest son, Ryan, wanted to spray paint his Nerf guns one day. It's like, babe, I can't take you up there. Like, I'm working at home. I can't run you to the paint store. He goes, oh, I'll go. It's half a mile from our house. He doesn't have to, cross any busy streets. And I'm a little more free range in the parenting than my husband. So I'm like, he goes, I'll take my money. I'll go get paint. I'm like, okay, that works for me,
Yeah.
right? He's got a little phone. He can call me if something, you know, we know all the neighbors between here and the paint store. So he leaves, and my husband comes home, and I'm like, oh, shoot. Because sure enough, he's like, hey, where's Ryan? He's at the paint store. What do you mean he's at the paint store? I know.
I don't know where he went.
Yeah, I don't know. And then,
Went off for a little bit.
yeah, sure enough, like 10 minutes later, he comes walking back with a box with 4 cans of paint.
Aw.
So now my husband is not quite sure if he's upset that I let him go, but he's like, who sells a 10-year-old cans of paint by himself?
I know. Yeah, that's funny.
And Ryan says, well, the guy did ask what I was going to use it for, and I told him Nerf guns, and apparently he thought that was okay because he sold me the paint.
No graffiti.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he solved it all on his own, and it was wonderful, and he felt so independent, and it was
Yeah.
a really cute moment.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love that. Just getting out of the way. And I was definitely, and my daughter, well, she laughs now, but I was super like
Yeah.
wanting to control everything, and I was the helicopter parent while I was at work because I just wanted everything to be great and them to be safe. And she jokes because I think her 1-year-old birthday cake was like a blueberry muffin, like no sugar, and it was
Oh,
awesome.
yeah. Mhm.
And my son is 4 years younger,
Yeah.
and she said, you know, you got it so much easier. My son says,
No
yeah, Mom,
sugar,
you
no
yeah.
screens, no nothing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. And then I learned, so,
Yeah,
oh
that's
well.
all right.
Yeah, and I love what you said about life happening for you and not to
Yeah.
you, and that perspective
I really
shift.
do believe that. Right? There's always something good in everything.
Yeah, and
So.
it gets, you know, I posted on Facebook a couple of days ago. My dad taught me chess
Oh, okay.
when I was really little. I don't remember.
it.
I don't know how to play chess, but the thing that I remember is that he said, if you look at the board long enough, there's always a move.
Okay.
And you can really apply that to life.
Yes.
Like if you look at a situation from different angles and you get outside your head.
Right.
Like I love helping my clients get in the habit of grounding. And what that means is really getting into your body, because in Western culture, particularly, we're taught to like solve it all up here.
Yes,
Think it all
and
up
you
here.
just
And you
spinning.
spin
Yes.
and ruminate and think and agonize, and then when you breathe and you just get back into your body, then you can hear your intuition, you can hear your gut and your heart that are always talking to you.
Right.
And that's when you can look at things, you know, a little bit differently and find some
Totally.
ease in situations. So
That's so
Yeah.
helpful. And I think people need help in learning what their intuition is and how to. I always thought it was supposed to sound, I don't know, like Ed McMahon or something. Like it's another voice that comes through, right? And you're like, oh, that's my intuition.
Right.
It's this totally like, wah, I don't know
Yeah.
what the voice is supposed to sound
Yeah.
like, but
Yeah.
different than my own voice. And then you realize it's not. It's your own voice.
it's you. Oh, it's me.
It's that random thought that goes through your head, and you're like, oh, I wonder if that means anything.
Yeah. And it took me a while because for so long I was up here. I'm
Yes.
very cerebral, and I would think my way through everything. So I thought that's how you did it. You know,
Yeah.
I did so much by the book, and then when I threw that out, I was like, how do I want to be? And got into more being,
Yes.
and then started paying attention. And I was taught, you know, when you get the inclination to go to Whole Foods, and then you go, oh, I don't need to go to Whole Foods. I could just go to QFC because it's right here. It's like, yeah, but the thought came. Follow it.
Yeah.
You don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know what's
Totally.
going to happen. And that's intuition. That's listening to that
Yes.
split-second thought before we rationalize it.
For sure.
Like, oh, I don't need, that's a pain in the butt. I'll
Yeah.
go next week, or,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. So,
Totally.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Well, and how great that you came from the corporate world, though. Because so, who are your typical clients that you work with?
Gosh, who's typical? I'm working with someone who's 24 now, out of college, or actually finishing up college, and trying to figure out what she wants to do, and she's feeling a lot of anxiety.
It's so, you know, now that I'm in my mid-40s, it makes me laugh because in your 20s is when you should be the most relaxed, and it's usually when you're wound the tightest.
Right? Because we put so much pressure on. I remember my kids when they were getting close to graduate high
Yeah.
school. They're like, I'm supposed to know what I want to do and
Yeah, it's a lot of
major in.
pressure.
And oh, heck yeah. And so, you know, I have my logo Powered by Purpose because I really help people get into what, you know, and we also have all this pressure. What's my purpose? And that changes.
Oh, you know what? I actually despise that. Like the whole, what's your why? What's your purpose?
Yeah.
Because it feels so, feels judgmental, quite
Yeah.
honestly. Like if it's not big, I'm going to feed all the children of some country, or I'm going to say, you know, like,
Yeah.
it needs to, sometimes my purpose is I'm going to get up and be nice to my kids and my husband and do something good for my clients and call it a day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Walk the dog and
that's
be
why
happy.
that's why I really, because I go between, you know, well, it's empowered and it's mindset and it's
Yeah.
powered by purpose. What I mean by that is be you.
Yeah.
Because when you are being you, when you know what your values are, when you know what's important to you, and then you come from that space,
Right.
then the doing and the having flow naturally. So it
Absolutely.
doesn't have to be this big lofty purpose.
Right.
So anyway, so I help people who are just I love helping coaches and entrepreneurs who they have these big goals and they know what they want to do and they're just not doing it.
Right.
And they don't know why, and they've done the self-help route and they've gone to the Tony Robbins and they've read the books and they keep, oh, maybe this is the solution. Maybe this will tell me what's going on. And it's really just kind of getting out of your own way because of the things that we learned when we were really little that we don't even know. It's the unconscious programming.
Absolutely.
And so when you let it go, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, of course I can do this. Oh,
Yeah.
of course I'm enough.
Yeah.
You know, and
Absolutely.
so I thought I had to have a niche and a particular type of person, but it's really the people who are ready to change and
Yes,
ready to
I
be
bet.
empowered. And I also, you know, the oldest person I worked with was 69, and
Aw,
it's not
that's so
old, so it's
sweet.
the gamut.
I love
and
it.
everyone in between, the people who are ready and ready and willing to really step into the fullness of who they are.
Awesome. Well, and I love that you were in corporate before you started this because I'm sure that gives you a lot of background and insight when you're working with people that, you know, just helps them kind of walk through that. So
Yeah, I can't help it. Some of the people that I work with, there's also some business mentoring because I did operations, I did training, I
that's
did
awesome.
so many different things. So, with coaching, it's about asking questions and because the answers are in you. I'm not an expert on you, you are. So it's asking the right question, and it's also doing cool things like with NLP. You know, I help people shift their mind so that they get rid of allergies, they get rid of food addictions that are sabotaging you. You can get, like so many things just by changing your mind.
That's awesome.
You know,
can you selectively, because I don't really want to give up peanut M&Ms and donuts.
again, yes, it's you have to be
selectively
willing.
give up other things?
Absolutely.
All right,
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah. So my husband, he loved agave nachos, and so we did
Oh,
that
really?
on him.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
and then
is
he's
funny.
like, okay, I want to eat them again, and so we did
Yeah.
that. But yeah, so
That's
it's just
funny.
helpful for the sabotaging. But
That's great. Well, and I should mention we're going to have all of your awesome contact information on the website after the show. So you can always go to NicoleMangina/podcast. And we'll have all of Susan Palmerwood's information there if you want to reach out to her because she's totally a cuter, blonder Tony Robbins with NLP, right? And probably fewer F-bombs. Oh my goodness, I went and saw Tony Robbins a couple years ago. Big on the F-bombs.
yeah, if you see the I Am Not Your Guru
Yes.
Netflix,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
You know, and
yeah.
that's for some people. For me, after a while, I was like, okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's breaking that state. Sometimes you need to do something to shock when people are so attached to their story.
Yes.
You do something to shock them out, like, wait, what?
Yes.
And loosen up, the
Yes.
boundaries. And I also hear you. So,
Yeah.
and I swear, but I don't swear every other
no,
word.
I swear
so,
too, but
yeah,
it was a lot.
yeah. And he does swear a lot. Yeah,
Big fan of that word.
yeah.
Anyway,
So.
cool. So, and you live in Sammamish. Let's talk about the 425.
I love the 425. So my kids went to Skyline.
Okay.
And I've been in Issaquah for a long time, and
Got it.
Klahani,
Yes.
and then moved to Sammamish, which is actually I think Klahani is Sammamish now.
I think it is.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So
Well,
it's like
for a while they were Issaquah. They didn't incorporate in, so they
Yeah.
were. I mean, they're in Sammamish, but they were Issaquah. I guess they can't defect because they were Issaquah to begin with. They just didn't join the party when Sammamish was incorporated.
Yeah. So so now I live, in the Trossachs area, so it's
Yeah.
just, a few blocks away. But what I grew up in California, but I
Okay.
moved up here 38 years ago.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that old. 28 years ago. Yeah, 28 years ago. So,
That's about the time I moved here too.
really?
Back when it was just the Sammamish Plateau, and there was no Skyline or East Lake High School.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I have always loved and appreciated this environment.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's amazing.
I mean, I remember driving to work, and that's when the pining started. I mean, there were so many things that led up to my burnout. And I would just, because I look, and there's mountain and trees,
Right.
and then there's the lake, and then there's the city, because I would commute into Redmond, and I would just be in awe. I'm like, I want to go climb that. I want to be out there. I want to be outside. And now my house backs up to I'm telling everyone where I live. But anyway, so I live, and then you go down the street, and no.
Yeah.
But I love, so in between coaching, I could just go and I could be in the woods.
Yeah.
And with my
love it.
dogs. And then my husband and I could go paddleboarding on Beaver Lake.
Yeah.
And then we could go to Kirkland and have really good food and, you know, go to Purpose. I love the store Purpose.
Great store.
Oh,
yeah.
Fantastic.
Very cool.
So it's got everything. It's got some city life.
Yes.
I can hop on the freeway, and then I can also be out in the middle of nowhere and
Yes.
just be with nature and ground and
Right.
yeah. So I love it here.
Yeah, it's, you know, exactly. I'm not a native here either, but I cannot imagine a better place to just live,
Yeah.
but also a better place to raise kids.
Yeah.
It's just, there's so much to do here.
Yeah.
It's, you know, kind of whatever you're into, you can do. It's wonderful. It's funny, you were talking about your address. I was visiting my dad this weekend, who just turned 80, and so for his 80th birthday, his wife put together this amazing photo album from like his whole life, right? But he was in the military, so there was this newspaper article from when he was 30, so 50 years ago, and it talks about these are his accomplishments, and he's getting ready to ship off to Germany. But before he did that, he went and spent time with his parents' house, and they listed the address.
Oh no!
I guess he did that 50 years ago.
Yeah, we don't do that now.
No, I mean, like, here's where he's at if you want to stop by for dinner.
Oh, that's
It was
hilarious.
so funny.
Yeah. No. I know, even in my
Maybe a different address
Yeah.
because you never know who's. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
Crazy
yeah. So,
So, and you've got dogs. You're a rescue dog mom. Oh,
I
me
love
too. It's a
my
special place.
dogs.
So
yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have some special walks or hikes that you do with your dogs?
Yes. So it's really interesting. So I found a dog trainer.
Okay.
She put up her flyer. So I guess flyer still works. She put up her brochure in QFC, and I just happened to see it. And I love, my dogs are so amazing that I would love to take them into like group homes or you know, children's hospital and things like that.
Sure.
But they love to lick you, and they are not trained.
Yeah.
At all. And they also are leash aggressive. So around other dogs, I cross the street because they will like bark and sound vicious, and it's so embarrassing because they're such sweet dogs. So the hikes that I do, I go up and down Trossachs, but I go, yesterday we did Yellow Lake, which is in Klahani.
Okay.
And that was one of my favorite places.
Good to know.
Just lots of trees. It's 1.25 miles around. It's great for running, and the sun goes through the leaves, and it's this bright green, electric green. It's my favorite. And
Beautiful.
then Soaring Eagle is 13 miles of
wow.
yeah, mountain biking, but it's all over, and so I could just go as short or as long as I want.
Oh, I love it.
And so it's so close, and
Ridge, so he gets to, you get to the top, and there's that big kind of crevice in the rock.
Yeah.
And there's this gal sitting there eating lunch, and so our son goes, "Hey, is that where the rattlesnakes are?" Because he's 6, and in his mind, we're at Rattlesnake Ridge. There should be rattlesnakes, right?
Where are the rattlesnakes?
And he doesn't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. He's just, where's the rattlesnakes? And this gal, I think she's probably never made it that fast down the mountain before. She looked at us, and we tried to do the, just kidding, and she was having none of it. She was out of there.
That's so funny. Yeah. And then, why do they call it Poo Poo Point? What is that about?
Yeah, who knows, right?
But it's the train, and it would make that poo sound, apparently. So.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I'm like thinking Hawaiian appetizers, and how did they work that? And into hiking in the Northwest.
Yeah.
That was another one I did with my kids. It's like 8 miles, right? That's a long hike.
It's a long one.
So I took them on the hike, and they were whining, and it cost me 3 donuts to get them like up and down. But then when we got up, they could see all the paragliders, so that was super cool. Until they realized that the paragliders drove up, and there was and we could have just driven there to watch it. We didn't have to actually hike. So that's where the third donut came in.
Oh my gosh. So for me, it has to be a holiday like my birthday or Mother's Day. And then my kids will go up.
Yeah.
You know, but otherwise, yeah, they want nothing to do with it. So.
That's funny.
Yeah. So you talked about food. Do you have a favorite place on the east side?
I love Italian food. It's my all-time favorite. So Canzonetta, downtown Bellevue is one of my favorites.
Been there.
No, yes, I love it. It's one of our favorite like family kind of restaurants and stuff like that.
Mm.
I like Carmine's too. I know, is it Montalcino or Montalcino? I think is in Issaquah, supposed to be good Italian food.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. There's one that's on Front Street.
Yeah,
it's a
I think
little.
that's it.
Is that it? Yeah,
think so.
I've
It's
heard
supposed to be
fantastic.
amazing.
I'm gluten free, and
good for you. I probably should be, but I am every day until
I
like
can
noon,
help you
and
with
then I
that,
fall
but
off the
it's
wagon.
So good. Yeah, it's I just got to a certain point where it's like, is it worth how bad I feel afterwards? No, but it took me a while to get there. Because when they bring out the hot bread and
It's really good. So where do you go for dinner?
Oh, I really like. What do I like? We go to Agave quite a bit because it's so close.
Right?
Yeah. Big Fish, Cactus.
Love Cactus.
Oh my
We have one
gosh,
downtown
right?
Kirkland.
That's
so
the one we
especially
go
this
to a
time of
lot.
year, we can walk down there.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh,
And they
you
have a
live that
really
close? Oh,
they have a
nice.
really good gluten-free menu.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's fantastic.
Cool.
I love talking food.
Right?
even with my restrictions, I love food.
You know what? It's funny. So I have done cleanse diets before, gluten-free and sugar. There's still amazing food out there. And restaurants, especially here, are more than happy to accommodate you. I've had some amazing dinners out, unrestricted diets. And the chefs are always great. So awesome. Thanks so much, Susan. It was great to have you here. Have a great 4th of July, everybody. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Perfect. Want to catch you up?